Hello, Wastelanders! Welcome to episode 53 of the Fallout feed. This is your first-timer co-host Pat here with some new guests and some old guests. We look forward to talking with you here for a few minutes on episode 53 of the Fallout feed. I am joined tonight by Andrew. Andrew, how you doing?
I'm very well. How are you this evening, Pat?
I'm terrific, thanks. Dennis is also with us tonight. Dennis, how we doing?
All right, Pat, how you doing?
Doing terrific, thanks. Casey is here. Good to hear from you, Casey.
Hey, good to be back. My month-long Fallout break is over.
Hey, great to have you back. And we are joined by first-timer Marcus from across the pond, calling from Blighty. Marcus, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Doing great, thanks.
Hey, Marcus, when journalists or anyone refer to anything in the United States, are they also automatically required to refer to us as across the pond as well, or is that an American thing only? Because absolutely every journalist or anything that refers to England or anything in the UK is all automatically called across the pond.
It sort of works like that most of the time. I'm not really sure, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, Marcus, we'll just go ahead and say that this is your first time on a podcast, so we'll please just hopefully you'll just sink on in like a warm bath.
I hope so too. Yeah, play nice, people. Play nice.
We'll be very nice. We're a very nice group. So here we have a little bit of news. We're gonna cover a little bit of exciting news for some of our console friends. Talk a little bit about mods. Do a little bit of Twitter feedback. We may play a little bit of a game. We'll wrap up, and at the tail end, we may have some very special feedback to share with the audience as well. I think the audience has heard from Andrew, Dennis, me, and Casey quite a bit. So Marcus, maybe do you mind just giving just a little bit of intro here about how long have you been playing Fallout? Which series, which episode did you start with in terms of Fallout games? What do you play on? What do you enjoy doing in the game?
Well, basically, I started off with the first Fallout and instantly got hooked on that and carried on from there all the way through till Fallout 4. I've played pretty much all of them.
You started with the first one, the first top-down one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the ISOs.
Very nice.
Yeah. I was well into Baldur's Gate and other ISOs like that as well.
Very nice. I don't know that we have that many Fallout originals here in the group. That's really good to have you on board.
What was your first? You played those old ones, didn't you?
I was playing other games when 1 and 2 were coming out, but I was not playing Fallout. So I started with 3 on Xbox. That was my first Fallout.
Casey, did you start with 3?
I started with 3, but I have played like the first hour of Fallout 1 like 7 times.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think anybody that's got it on Steam probably has the full set. I do too. I've got the full set, but I've not played anything before 3.
I could have sworn we had someone who did it. Well, it wasn't Dennis. Was it you who played the top down ones?
No, I started with 3 like most everybody else.
Yeah. Shalene definitely talks about it on her show.
On the show, she was talking about it. Yeah.
She liked number 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, number 2 was my favorite.
Still to this day.
Storyline, probably, yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. I wonder if I should try to play the old ones at some point.
I'd definitely recommend it.
Start from the very beginning. Start from 1 and play all the storylines straight back to 4.
Now, Andrew, you're on Xbox for 4. Do you have a PC that could play those older games?
Oh, I have no idea. See, I'm a technology dunce, as they say, and I have recently acquired a Mac Mini. Can you play those old PC games on Mac? They're like Mac emulators for
you could. You might be able to play those earlier ones on. Geez, I'm blanking. What's there's an emulator. Because I think the hardware requirements are not as much for those older ones.
No, probably not. I mean, the graphics on that were very limited.
I know there are people who play Fallout 4 on like a very high-end Mac with an emulator, which I can't imagine that because there would be so much overhead, but it technically can work.
Wow.
But you have to have a really high-end Mac to do 4, 4, maybe even New Vegas on an emulator.
I can't imagine doing Fallout 4 like that. I know Sherry had Skyrim going on her Mac a lot with lots of mods and stuff. So I was always impressed by how well she could do with all that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So,
maybe
so talking about platforms, last couple of days, there's been, as we record this, there's been some really big news on the PS4 front. Casey, you're our your PS4 representative tonight.
Yes.
You want to share the big news that got launched by Bethesda the past couple of days?
Yeah, so yesterday I think it was, I just got like 25 tweets all at once about the announcement that Sony will have the mods on PS4 for a Skyrim remastered and Fallout 4.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yes.
Good job, Sony. Finally.
Well, yeah, I think it's persistence on Bethesda's part, right? You know, they hung in there.
Well, my first thought was, of course, this was going to happen. I think Sony coming out last week or a month ago and saying outright this is not going to happen, I think that was them just testing the public reaction, maybe, because I still think they don't want this, but
Yeah.
I think Bethesda probably was very persistent, and
Yeah.
the feedback from the fans was probably overwhelming.
Oh, why would Sony let themselves be, coerced into anything, especially by like a game company? You know what I mean?
Well, that I don't know, but
I think maybe it's a bit of brinksmanship. You know that they were going to push Bethesda a little bit, right? So.
But I think Sony's going to need mod support for future games, especially with VR coming out. Like they're going to need some help from the community, I think.
Yeah.
How will mods work with VR?
Well, I don't know, but the community will find a way to make the broken games that come out first. They'll make them better.
Yeah, that's true. That's incredible. Good thoughts. So I don't even know what the whole deal was. Really, it started out with a problem over music or something, right? So the mods that you can now include for PS4, there are limitations, right, Patrick?
Yeah. So as I understand it, only in-game assets, which I take to mean
and
something Bethesda puts in the game, can be used in a mod.
In-game assets. That just seems like a weird, vague phrase to me for some reason. So you just said that's anything Bethesda had in the game. So anything that is in the base game can then be modded.
Yeah. So think about your God mode cheats, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's in the that doesn't require anything new. That just that's this is my assumption, right? I don't know if anybody here on the cast has like really specific information. That's the way I interpret it.
That means
I
they
think
won't
that's
have
a
the
fair-
weird ones where, like Andrew was saying, there's Godzilla on the island or whatever. They won't have like the weird things then, just kind of basic.
No, basically all you would be able to do is to reshuffle everything that's all in the game. I mean, you could try and, for things like quest mods and stuff, you could try and move things that are already in the game into position. But, introducing anything outside of the game that's not there, they're not going to go for.
What about like unified clothing overhaul, Dennis?
I don't think that you would be able to do that because it has to add, it's adding
Isn't that
different
all
colors
in the
and textures.
Oh, the colors are different. You're right.
I wanted the weather ones.
Maybe.
Yeah, the weather and the water.
I want snow.
Yeah, what about that stuff? The snow in Far Harbor, that is really beautiful. It is a good mod.
I would assume not, because that feels like it's new. I mean,
that's not in the base game. You're right. So
yeah, you listen. Something like Tales of the Commonwealth is just completely screwed, right? Because that's all it is new stuff.
It's just all new stuff.
Yeah, you're having totally new locations built in, new cells used.
But maybe this is the first step, and they'll roll out more. Like,
that's an excellent
later.
point. I mean, I wouldn't get too jazzed up about the way it's going to work, because you're really going to want to see what happens with Skyrim. Because I mean, first of all, it was never ever going to happen. Now it's kind of sort of going to happen. And it's not outside the realm of Sony to say, oh, and we're even telling Bethesda, oh yeah, we're going to do this, and then at 0 hour say, wait, you know what? We decided not to do this. It's not a good idea. And it's just Sony wanting to keep everything that they have, self-contained. They don't want to run the risk of anyone, dropping, something into the game that is going to cause a problem for them, whether it be some type of possible virus or boobs or whatever. Sony doesn't want to take the complaints on because people are going to go yell at Sony, not Bethesda, at least in their opinion.
I along those lines, sort of here. I've got a comment from Victor in the Facebook group. He says, "Maybe I'm jaded, but I don't see this in any way except as Sony being difficult. Bethesda has no obligation to QA mods. They never have. Nor do I think they care a whole lot about mods increasing sales of what is already one of the best-selling games of all time. Sure, it's nice, and they've spent money constructing BNet, but they did their work long ago making these games as open as they are. This is all the console makers. They're the ones who have vested interest in QA." What's QA? What's he saying there?
Quality assurance.
Quality assurance, okay. Microsoft worked with the idea of mods and came up with the logical safeguards. Sony simply will not allow even the most rudimentary file access to their system outside of a game structure. I love my PS4, but I've always had issues with Sony. I doubt they will ever move beyond this, though I didn't think we'd ever get this far. Thoughts?
Well, yeah, it was always Sony being stubborn, I think. But
I mean, I agree with 99% of what Victor's saying. I think the 1%. I think Bethesda does have an interest in driving sales in the game. Otherwise, if Sony said, "Oh, we're not going to do mods," Bethesda would just go, "Oh, all right, that's too bad." But to miss out on an entire platform, you're still, especially since you're charging full price for basically a remaster.
Yeah.
So every dollar and every bit of money that Bethesda can get, especially they're probably using these sales to help drive their two mysterious projects that they say they're working on. So if they can bank money from old content to cushion the blow if those two projects don't pan out, I think it's worth in their interest to do it. But no, it's definitely Sony being difficult.
Yeah. Well, they're a bunch of good people over there at Sony that everyone loves and gets along with great. But anyway, Casey, the point of the whole thing is congratulations, and we're very excited that you will be able to not do anything cool with mods.
And now my game runs pretty perfectly on my PS4. Like loading times are low and never freezes. The first time I install a mod and it crashes my game,
I'm sure it will.
That's probably the end of it for me.
It's funny you say that, Casey, because one of my two favorite Twitch streamers, one guy's on PC, one guy's on PS4, and the guy on PS4, he will stream for 3 and 4 hours or 4 or 5 hours and never have a crash. His loads are fast, and I actually have thought about that. It's he's on PS4 and he's got a very smooth experience. And I think for my Xbox, I've talked about it here before. I have pretty frequent crashes. I think it's better. It's getting better on Xbox One, but I still get crashes. And I think you're right. Is that's going to be the trade-off? Is that there's going to be more crashes on PS4s than there have been. First time you try to do God mode and 6 other mods or something, it's just going to blow up in your face.
Well, not according to Sony, because the assets that they're allowing are supposed to be completely fine. So you're not going to be able to do anything to break it. So
So Dennis, you've got a fairly high level character on Xbox, right? How are you? How are you in terms of crashes?
I don't have a high level character anymore because I've had to do
that's right. Jeez, you had all that problem.
Complete. I've done complete reinstalls because of some problems. It's been stable. I mean, I've been running. I've been downloading Quest mods like crazy because it's getting to the point where I'm just Skyrim's coming, so I'm ready to kind of put Fallout a little bit on the back burner. So now I'm I'm in dare mode where I'm just, all right, I'm going to load this, I'm going to load this, and I'm going to load this. And if you blow up, I dare you to blow up. And I figured the easiest thing to do is to, add tons of Quest mods because it's, there's so much more that goes into them. There's so many more, places that are being used so much more for the game to remember. And actually, I've got like 6 different quest mods going now, and it's the most stable my game's been in forever.
Nice.
Good deal.
So I don't know. It's, and I'm trying to, but I'm using information from the past, what load order I've had, tails in, and trying to keep it there, try to be a little bit smart with it, not go, completely insane. But, there's really, console wise, there's only really so much you can do. You don't have any way of, digging into your files and figuring out where your crashes come. If anyone's watching Victor's series on modding, you can see if you're actually going under the hood and looking, there's a whole hell of a lot more going on than what us console people are seeing.
Yeah.
I'm scared to look under that hood.
Yeah, see, that's the way I am. It's like I just kind of enjoy my console experience. But for me, I used to get crashes. I would get crashes like when I was moving from cell to cell. So my most frequent crashes were when I was just running around the wasteland. And what I see now, I think Bethesda must have like put in some better error trapping or something, because I get these things with the current version where I'll be running around and all of a sudden my game will pause for a second. I'm about, oh shit, I'm going to get a crash. And then the game will recover.
Yeah, I
where
love it.
Before it would crash. So I think they're improving their error recovery as in the game as they patch it.
And I love it when it pauses for a second and it recovers. But then you've also never seen a faster quick save in your life. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
well, you want to be careful quick saving when you have glitches like that, because quick saves are, it's not going to be as stable as a strong save.
Yeah,
So,
but just if it crashes, I'll have the quick save, and then I can like make a. I don't know if it's a bad idea to make your normal save off of an unstable quick save, but I've never had a problem with it so far. Hey, Pat, before we get into, I know we had listener emails about mods and a listener poll about mods. I just wanted to ask Marcus, did you say what platform you play on? You said you played all the old games too, but these days, are you on a console or PC?
Console. I'm on the Xbox One.
Xbox One, do you enjoy it? Would you endorse your experience on the Xbox One so far?
Yeah, it's not been too bad. I've had a few crashes once I loaded mods.
What mods do you like?
I like the weather ones. It makes it a little bit more immersive for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I got True Storms on mine at the moment, and I've pushed it all the way up to the hardest level with the ghouls when the radstorms come out.
Oh, nice.
So every time a radstorm kicks up, you just hear this like bone churling sort of scream in the background, and a load of ghouls start coming out at you.
That sounds fun.
Is it like Sharknado but with ghouls?
Pretty much, yeah. Ghoulnado.
Ghoulnado.
Love it. Love it. That there totally needs to be a mod for that.
Oh, that's great stuff. Hey, Marcus, we welcome you to the show. One of the special reasons we wanted to have you on, we wanted to have you on in the marathon here in a couple weeks, but you can't do that because your wife is picking another time.
Yeah, so her due date is pretty much smack dab on that day.
Well, I'm sure you could skip that birth and come right to the marathon, but she might get mad at you for that. So we decided to have it on a little bit early, but maybe you can discuss this anyway. This will be a good plug because we're starting up the new Skyrim roundtable, and we'll do future Fallout roundtables, of course. So I just thought we'd have you on to discuss our little project that we've been working on behind the scenes a little bit. Would you like to sort of describe what we've been doing?
Yeah, so basically I took the sheet that you guys had already set up for the first round table for Fallout.
Sorry to interrupt. Could you just tell us why you got involved in this, or maybe what you do, if you're at liberty to mention what you do?
Well, I work for a technical support company that deal with lots of different technology, but essentially what boils it down to is I work a lot on spreadsheets for bits and pieces where I work. And I just thought I'd give my expertise to you guys because I heard you were having issues with trying to get your special stats to all work out correctly every single time.
Yeah.
So rather big-headedly of myself, I thought I'd take it on.
Well, the special stats always needed to add up to 28, and we had no idea how to do that. And you did. So you decided to chime in, which you might, be sorry about by now with how much I've hounded you. How many emails? We've written maybe 100 emails back and forth by this time, and now Facebook Messenger too, just going over to like every little minute detail of all these. I'm sure I'm annoying you to death with this project right now.
But, see, I thought that was me annoying you.
Oh no, not at all. I'm always so into like stupid projects like this that I feel like I get on other people's nerves when I'm too excited about something. So what we started with, we had Marcus, sort of redesign our spreadsheet to pump out your Fallout Roundtable stats. And that sheet is actually now embedded at the website, ASAPodcasting.com. If you click on the Fallout feed segment and scroll down underneath the schedule, there is a link. What does it say? Is anyone on the website? The link, I think it just says maybe Fallout Roundtable random stats or something like that. So you just click on that sheet, and it brings up our sort of spreadsheet. And Marcus, could you just explain quickly how it all works?
Andrew, that link is ASA Podcasting. Click on Fallout feed, and it's Fallout Roundtable Character Generator. So go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, so essentially you roll up into that sheet and refresh your page, and it will roll a fresh set of stats every single time. Included in those stats, you also get followers, settlements, romance, faction. I've also stuck a Fudge Muppet build randomizer in there as well. Essentially, it will just give you a fresh new character each time that you can play around with and, join in, basically.
Everyone's
brilliant. I'm playing with this now.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Is this in Google Docs, Marcus, or Google Spreadsheets? Is that how you did it?
Yeah, Google Sheets. I thought it would probably be the easiest way for everyone to be able to view it without, the least amount of issues, basically.
This is damn sexy. Wow.
He's implanted the sort of like our little symbol, our podcast symbol there in the background, so it looks nice and neat. And
you could, if you want to do this for somebody, you could just cut and paste the picture right here. This is really genuinely brilliant.
Yeah, I built it so that the Fallout feed, it sort of pulled itself together and put itself right in there. So if you wanted, you could actually just print it out and then just write your character's name at the top, and then just keep it.
Nice. You even got the Far Harbor and the Nuka World DLCs in the faction listing. Very nice.
Yeah, there was a bit of a scrabble to try and get all of the information from Nuka World on the day that it released.
Yeah, we were putting this together the weekend Nuka World came out, I think.
You guys rock. Yeah. This is terrific.
Oh, he did all the work. He was doing everything, and then he would write me an email and say, "Is this okay?" And I would say, "Yes, of course. This is awesome. Thank you for all of your free labor."
Yeah, well, it's been a labor of love. I've had many a night at the moment sitting down, scratching my head, wondering how I could get it all to work, and going through at least 2 bottles of whiskey.
That's what we like to hear.
Yep.
Very nice.
What does that increase? Does that increase your
my charisma
and strength? Right, whiskey is charisma and strength.
Yeah.
Minus intelligence.
You need your charisma and your strength in order to work on the spreadsheet.
Very nice.
Yeah, I was definitely working off the alcoholics build.
It's amazing. Everyone, please go check it out. Again, that's you go to ASA Podcasting, click on the Fallout feed link, scroll all the way down past the schedule, and the link says Fallout Roundtable Character Generator. And also, Marcus, really quickly, we should also mention the Skyrim Roundtable, which will start at the Marathon on October 29th. We will be having our first planning episode. We will be using our
Skyrim table. Yeah. Yeah. No, I've spent the last. I spent the last, I think, really the last week mainly looking at the Skyrim Roundtable sort of stat builder, and it's been a bit more of a headache only due to the fact that I haven't played Skyrim as much as Fallout. My other half is actually more into Skyrim than I am. But it looks pretty good at the moment. I'm 99% happy with it. I just got a few more tweaks to add in, but it'll show homes that you can choose, locations where they're at, which house card comes with that home, loads of different things at the moment.
He not only included the names of characters and locations and stuff, but if you have a standing stone in Skyrim, he will also put the description of what the standing stone does right next to it, which is very helpful. And if for the Fallout spreadsheet, he didn't only put the perk, what perk you have, he also described what that perk actually does. Like he'll pop up that it says, lady killer, and then right next to it says women suffer more damage in combat and are easier to persuade in dialogue. Max 3 ranks. Like he even tells you how many ranks are in it. He's like, he's put so much detail and work into this. It's really mind blowing, and it's a wonderful little work of art for our sake. It's really helpful too.
To be honest,
all these individually by hand.
Yeah, I mean, I typed a lot of it in by hand. Had to redo some of it so that it actually fits on the page. So some of it is just written in the way that I understood it. I think the hardest part really was trying to make something that was actually worthy for you guys to actually have to actually complement your podcast.
You've exceeded what we deserve.
Yeah, this is amazing. I think listeners will have a good time. I think if nothing else, I'm just sitting here refreshing the page, and it gives you character ideas. Just literally refreshing the page because one popped up and it was 8 luck. So I thought I've never min-maxed a luck character before.
Yeah.
How do you min-max a luck build?
Well, Pat, that you mentioned that in our Family Feud poll for our special Fallout Feed episode 50. You know what the most special, most useful special stat was?
I got no clue.
It was, gosh. Well, I guess we better listen to the episode to find out.
Yeah, let's. How would one go about listening to that episode, Andrew?
Well, Pat, what we're doing here is for our ASA podcasting marathon that will be actually by the time this episode drops, it'll be, I think, next week. For that episode, we are doing a special game show for the Fallout Feed in celebration of Fallout Feed episode 50. We're going to team up with the marathon to try to throw yet a few more shekels towards the cause. And if you're not familiar with our cause yet, it is the ASA podcasting marathon to benefit cystic fibrosis, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation for research so that we can find a cure. If anyone is of your first time listener or anything, my family is directly affected by the condition, and also other podcasters who are in ASA podcasting are also directly affected. So it's a cause that is near and dear to the heart of us here at ASA Podcasting. But what you can do if you'd like to hear our special marathon, for the marathon charity episode of the Fallout Feed, please get out your pencils and write this down. You will want to donate $1 through PayPal to ASAPodcasting at gmail.com. That's ASAPodcasting at gmail.com. $1 through PayPal. And in the comment section, please just put Fallout Feed episode 50 or Fallout Feed game show or something like that to let us know. And we will send you a link to this awesome show, and you can download it. And please don't upload it onto, BitTorrent or anything like that. That's not very nice. So this special episode is going to be awesome. We've already recorded it. It was pretty spectacular. Pat, do you have any just fond memories without spoiling anything?
No, it was a lot of fun. You and Jerry, it was a lot of laughs, a lot of frustration, a few pounded heads, a few explicit tag words, and I think it was much fun will be had by all. I think it's well worth your $1 of pre-war money donated to ASAPodcasting at gmail.com. When you go to PayPal, please use the friends and family link. That will make sure that no fees are deducted. Every $1 you contribute will go straight to CFF.org.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, Pat, why don't we just go ahead and check in with a word from our sponsors, and we will be back here in just a few minutes. Hey guys, this is Andrew from the Fallout feed, and we are joined with another couple of heroes in the room with Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Andrew.
And Victor. Hey, what's up?
Howdy, howdy.
And Colin. Hi, Colin. Shoot, I bumped it.
And podcasting without internet, folks, right here.
Sorry about that.
Can't be perfect all the time.
Yeah, well, we're the YouTube people. You got a special edition here. There'll be a big edit right in the middle here of the show here that no one else will know about, but you YouTube people.
There we go.
Hey guys, this is Andrew from the Fallout feed, and we are joined with another couple of heroes in the room with Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Andrew.
And Victor. Hey, what's up?
Howdy, howdy.
And Colin. Hi, Colin.
Hey, guys.
Hey, we just got done recording the most super secret episode of the Fallout feed that has ever been recorded with a special super secret game show. Jeremy, can you tell us a little bit about what happened on this game show?
Lots of fun, lots of Fallout, lots of everything.
Jeremy, get ready here. You'll be going first Quick on Your Think. Remember, you have 5 seconds to name 3 items in the category that I state. I will start the timer after I end saying the category.
I should have drank.
That was a good time. Victor, did you have any favorite moments or anything? Do you have anything to say about our games that we just threw out real quick?
I think it was when we massacred 700 feral ghouls. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts. That's a good highlight
awesome.
to go over.
Awesome. And never go against a Sicilian when life is on the line.
Colin, have you thoughts on this experience you just went through?
Yes, we definitely have an explicit tag, so you know it's got to be good.
Oh, it's the worst. You cannot let your children or coworkers listen to this episode, I guarantee. But what we've done
You
here...
can, you just won't be a good one.
Oh, no, and you might be fired, or
on your job.
Children's Services might come take your children away. Good job.
Damn it.
Nope, that's 3. Good job.
Yeah, well, I wanted 8.
So what we've done here is we've got a special episode, everyone, and for
minimum of $1.
a minimum of $1. Yeah, feel free to donate $10 or $100 for this special episode. That'd be wonderful and a very heartfelt gesture. But this is a 4-hour event of the 12-hour marathon charity benefit for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, because that is a cause that is near and dear to the hearts of us at ASAPodcasting. My family directly affected. Jeremy, your family also directly affected. Any support that any of our listeners can give for us is greatly appreciated. One way that you can support our cause here is to donate $1. Jeremy, could you give us a few of the details on this transaction?
So you're going to want to donate through PayPal to asapodcasting@gmail.com. And you're going to want to make sure you use the friends and family option that will limit any PayPal fees.
So if you do $1 to asapodcasting@gmail.com on PayPal, then that will clear you through. Just write in the comment section. There's a little comment box. Just please write Fallout Feed number 50 or Fallout Feed special game show episode or something like that. And for $1 or any amount that you feel like donating, that'd be greatly appreciated. And we will send you off a link, and you can download this special episode of Fallout Feed number 50, and it's worth it. Colin and Victor, what do you guys think? Any last words here?
Absolutely worth it.
Awesome.
Definitely worth it. I'm here, so.
And
Yeah,
it's great.
Colin.
Thank you guys so
Colin.
much for participating in it. And Pat was on the show. Patrick.
If you give me 3 named raiders, I'm going to rage quit.
Kara was also on the show. That's
there's
quite
this
all right.
faction, and then there's that faction, and then there's the other one over there.
There's that one
I
that
joined
does
them
that
all,
thing.
you know?
Yeah, and those whatsy whoosies in the back. My brain is misfiring all over the place.
and it was good times had by all. Steve, Fred, George, Sam, Chuck, all of those guys, you know.
And then we would have gotten so many messages.
The Ghoul Gang.
There's no real name. There's no real character.
So I encourage you, please, $1 to asapodcasting@gmail.com over on the PayPal. And that will take you there all the way. And it's a wonderful cause. And we thank everyone deeply so much for the help and the participation in our little community. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Hello.
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 Moses, can you say thank you so much to everyone for helping out with the ASA Podcasting Marathon Cystic Fibrosis Charity event? We couldn't do it without you. Thank you guys so much. Say hello, buddy. Hello.
Hello. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, buddy, good job. Say thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Following total atomic annihilation, it may fall to you to save the great nation. That's why Voltech has made extra preparation and are proud to present to you a special education.
Would you like a very spiffy, brand new ASA Podcasting t-shirt? Well, that's great because we have 2 brand new designs, one for a Skyrim addict and one for the Fallout feed over at etsy.com/shop/ASA Podcasting.
Supply the spark. So on seeing something sweet, be sure to scan your staff.
And I can highly recommend those T-shirts. I've invested in both of them, and they're lovely. They're highly recommended and a real bargain. So please check out the Etsy shop.
And that's what the solid organization we are here at ASA Podcasting, where we even include our hosts of our shows. We require them to purchase their own T-shirts.
Yeah, I you told me I had to buy a shirt before you. Wait, is that an option? My God. Jeez, I feel like I've been cheated.
It's like that those places where you work where they make you buy your own fucking uniform. Like, what the shit is that?
I never knew this was a pyramid scheme. Michael, we're gonna have words. All right.
And there's me getting mine for free.
Well, anybody who does spreadsheet monkey work deserves anything they can ask for. If we could legally ship whiskey across the pond, we'd do that for you.
That's right. I'm coming over towards you guys soon anyway. So
meet up with Marcus. Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Buy me a drink of whiskey.
There we go. Let us know the time and place. Yeah, where are you coming to? We're in the U.S.
There's I'm trying to remember. It's something that my other half wants to go to. So it's something to do with some sort of organization with children or something like that. I'm not 100% sure exactly what it's all about. But all I know is I'm coming over towards you guys, and
do you know what's
going to be there for a bit. I will have to have a look into that. I'll probably have to end up messaging you what's going on, or God forbid, come on another show and discuss it.
Yeah. This may be the impetus for the long-awaited ASA Podcasting live meetup. You never know.
Oh,
nice. You never know.
It's been tossed around in message groups and stuff, but who knows? We're scattered all over the damn place. Juan is in San Diego, and everyone, a bunch of people on the East Coast.
I think if we ignore you and Juan, though, I think we've got a real concentration. We've got Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland, right? We're pretty well represented. So, Casey, I actually don't know where you are.
I'm in Wisconsin. Chicago is very centralized, so everyone should go there.
That is true. Chicago would be convenient for me. It's only about 2.5, 3 hours away from me.
Yeah,
that would work.
Yeah.
But Jeremy and I are fans of a show called Tell 'em Steve Dave, which we've mentioned on the show before. But we're thinking about taking a pilgrimage to the comic book store that is in Red Bank, New Jersey, and that's
the secret stash.
Yeah, the secret stash over. So I don't know. We're thinking about trying to organize something if we ever actually end up doing that at some point.
Oh, and New Jersey's right next door.
Yeah. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe that'll be fun one day.
All right,
Well,
so we promised we'd have a little bit of mods talk here on this episode. So maybe we'll go to a poll here, and we can all definitely talk. Ask the participants here live as well. So we ask our Twitter followers and the Facebook group what are your favorite mods, and if you have an opinion on what mods would be better with the in-game assets as required by our friends at Sony, what would you think? So I'll share a couple of those we got from email, and then maybe I'll turn it over to Dennis, Casey, and Andrew. You're the king of mods on Xbox, so I don't know if we need to hear from you, but
I'm a master on mods.
Yes. So Victor, Victor is probably our genuine true king. No, he's God Emperor of mods because he has an entire podcasting series devoted to mods. Victor's favorite mod is spring cleaning, which is one that I know is a well represented mod that cleans up the wasteland for you.
Is that for consoles? I haven't ever looked.
I believe it is available on consoles. I played I don't remember if it was spring cleaning or I played around with one on consoles, and it was a lot of work because you had to clean up everything. And I think spring cleaning. Does anybody use spring cleaning on a PC or one of the consoles?
I've used it before, but I watch Victor's videos and I sit there and I'm like, wow, that looks so amazing. But Pat's right. It's a lot of work and a lot of challenge to keep it going. It just doesn't interest me that much.
I think Victor likes he refers to it as derping, but he likes just messing around with stuff, like just tinkering here and there, and I don't think that sort of thing bothers him. He's really good at that sort of stuff.
I tried one. I don't know if it was literally spring cleaning. I tried one cleanup mod on console, and I was in Sanctuary like we all are, right? You start out there, and I was going to clean up a pile of garbage, and there was like 8 things in this one pile of garbage because the leaves was one pile and the paper was one pile. And you understand why they built it that way because it gives them more flexibility. But because you have to clean up every individual piece of crap, it just takes forever.
Yeah, all the leaves.
Yeah.
Piles of leaves and just. I hate it when the corner is just a pile of junk. I don't, it's just like a non-discriminate just pile of, and you can sometimes see, like, if you stare at it, you can see like the bottoms of cans that look like they've been crushed and stuff like that, except for they're disproportionately large. Have you ever noticed the squished cans? It looks really weird.
So I've got kind of a platonic ideal of Sanctuary, and like when I get like a certain level scrapped, I kind of don't ignore I don't see the trash anymore. Like once I get like the basic stuff scrapped, it's like, okay, that's as good as Sanctuary gets for me. And so the people that take it even further, it's like, okay, more power to you.
Yeah.
I think the best quote in regard to that is something Juan said a long time ago. It's been 200 years. I mean, nobody thought to pick up a broom. I mean, come on.
Well, there's plenty of brooms around the wasteland, but clearly they're not been used.
I don't think I noticed many brooms at first. I think they've added a lot of brooms sort of as a joke because everyone was bitching about it.
Well, there's that there's that toilet stall full of plungers in Nuka World.
Yeah.
Which is definitely a plunger joke.
Oh, speaking of plungers, have you guys ever found the syringer gun that is in the church in the what is the glowing sea? There's like a church that's buried underneath.
Yeah.
Around. If you go,
I've been to the church, but I've never seen what you're talking about.
Plungers along the ceiling, and if you fire at the last plunger, a plank falls out, and underneath that plank,
wow,
the ceiling is a cool like special legendary syringer gun or something.
Damn, good knowledge.
I believe it's that location. It could be a different location, so it could be totally wrong knowledge there. But there is a cool place that has, for some reason, just if you look at the wall, there's a couple plungers attached to the wall, and then if you like keep following that line, it's like there's a line all the way across the ceiling, and it leads to, if you shoot the last thing, it'll reveal some cool stuff.
Nice. Has anybody on the cast ever used the syringer?
No.
I have it, and I mean to use it, but I never do.
Yeah.
I've modded it up completely, but I've never ever used it.
I've done exactly the same thing. What about you, Dennis? Have you used the syringer ever?
No, I sell it as soon as I get it.
Yeah, that's because supposedly there's a few things that you can use it for, but I've just never tried it because it just seems just so stupid, and the ammunition has such ridiculous requirements. I've never even crafted a syringer ammo, not even for fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So are there mods that I'm always short on like supplies. Like I want
Oh,
the
yeah.
vendors to sell more stuff, like more shipments and stuff. Can you
Yeah,
increase that?
yeah, there's different things. There's vendor mods and there's just like outright cheat mods that like you can just go like there's one that's on consoles that creates, now this might not work on Sony because it's not an in-game asset, but it creates a bunker and you walk into the bunker and the bunker is full of chests and the chests are full of crap. So you can just go like there's a chest of every weapon in the game and a chest of every armor in the game and a chest with all the junk in the game, and you can just go get, it's 2 to the 16th minus 1, so 65, 330, whatever that number is. That's how much crap you can get of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just outright cheating. There's no modding or vendoring about it. You just go grab the crap. Yeah.
That's not fun. I want the vendors to sell more stuff. I will buy it, but I want the option.
I think that would make your load screens ridiculous if you add that many weapons and shit in trunks, right? Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to. Maybe because it's contained in an interior location.
Have you really played around with that, Pat?
Yeah, I play the Start Anywhere mod, whatever the hell it's called, where you can start as a synth in another location. I was just derping around with one of those mods, and I just wanted to have a character that had like. I wanted to do a Blitz build. I didn't want to take time to build it, so I just made her level 40 and just gave her all the Blitz, Ninja, Rooted, all that crap that makes a Blitz build just totally OP. And I wanted some supplies, so I just loaded that mod and just go grab the supplies because I was just kind of, I just wanted to jumpstart the character and not go through Sanctuary again.
What would you say is the essential must-have mod for a console gamer?
Well, I still actually, it's funny, I was doing mods for my roundtable just to kind of accelerate the gaming, but I still really enjoy the unmodded survival build. That's where I I gravitate. I'll play with mods for a little bit. It's like, I just want the survival experience. So I just wind up going back to unmodded. So for me, the essential mod is none.
Nice.
So, what about Dennis? What's your essential mod or favorite mod that you've worked with so far?
There's a couple little tinkery ones that are, we've mentioned many times. Is the outfit switcher is definitely something that is important. There's various, there's universal clothing overhaul, just basically ones that allow you to put ballistic weave into different clothing. I mean, not to where you're cheating, to where you can put it on every single item that you wear, but just opens up the game a little bit. Sometimes I use unlock ballistic weave if I don't feel like going through doing all the railroad questy stuff. But I really concentrate more on trying to, it's the Tales of the Commonwealth style mods that interest me more. I was using one recently. It's called The Unstoppables Issue 1. And you kind of start off with the quest and you actually are running around with the Silver Shroud. And then you do another quest with the Silver Shroud and Grognak. And it's, it's not, it's not Bethesda quality, but, if this is this person's first mod, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, you went to a totally different location outside of the Commonwealth, and there was all kind of waterfalls and greenery and all, just something that you can put green of the Commonwealth and weather and stuff like that, but it's still the same place. Going to an absolutely new place that you have you haven't read about. You can read about Nuka World and you can prep for all that, but if you go into an experience pretty blind, it's those kinds of things that I look for.
Yeah, nice.
See, I'm a massive fan of True Storms. Just trying to mod the environment a little bit more. It just makes it a little bit more interesting in my thoughts.
Do you mess with the grass and trees and stuff too for the environment and stuff? Water?
No, I find it a little bit too immersion breaking with some things. I like to just tweak it a little bit, just to change textures on things a little bit, make it look a little bit more drab, or make it a little bit more lore friendly in my head. In how I think it should look, basically.
So Andrew, you played around with the seasons mod, right?
Yeah, I've got different weathers and seasons and stuff like that. Yeah.
So the season. So for me, I'm kind of with Marcus, and I don't want to break the immersion of being in an apocalyptic wasteland, but at the same time, the fact that in the default Fallout, you're always in this kind of like fall winter kind of environment, right? You're never there are no seasons. In the seasons mods, are they wasteland seasons, or do they look like our normal world, like non-wasteland seasons when you have the seasons mod?
Well, what does wasteland snow look like?
Well, yeah, it's just like sort of ruined, right? I mean, underneath the snow, it's still kind of ruined and all effed up, right? You've got dead, gnarled, creepy trees and stuff, as opposed to like I don't want Fallout to look like my backyard in the snow. I want it to look like a wasteland covered in snow.
It definitely does not accumulate like that, so it will never look like a winter wonderland or anything. It's just you get blustering like snow, so it like makes it a little harder to see. The rain just looks like a little more crisp. It's not anything drastic with the ones I'm running. Vivid weathers and vivid waters, and the vivid waters is interesting because if you're looking down from the surface, it's crystal clear and you can see everything in the water, but it does not change anything when you go underwater. It's still foggy as shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that will be worked on more or not, but
now, has anybody done? There's like a clear water that like makes all the water like completely crystal clear all the way to the bottom.
It just makes it not there, I think.
Well, I think there's both. I think there's one that removes the water, but isn't there also one that makes it clear / invisible?
Oh, so
who knows? I don't know. Yeah, that's the category of mods I haven't played around. I've used the cheater mods and the God mode mods and the ones that sort of let you fast travel and survival, but I've not used any.
I've also loaded the springtime in the Commonwealth, which adds sort of like grass everywhere and cute little flowers and stuff, and it's a little too much, I think. I don't mind it, but it's just. Well, actually, does anyone know, like, first of all, what kind of atomic weapon would have been used, and then what the half-life of that material would be to know if actually biology could start taking root again? Like, do we know what sort of time frame all of this stuff could happen in? Like, could there really be grass and trees be growing again by now in the Commonwealth?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure on that one.
I would think 200 years would be plenty of time.
Yeah. Is there stuff growing at Chernobyl now?
Well, the Chernobyl's like really effed up, but there is like wildlife there, and it's not a dead complete wasteland, but it's really effed up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, rad stags have two heads, so
yeah,
it's a little effed up here in the Commonwealth too.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you figure that human beings are walking around and nobody's completely sick, and they're eating potatoes and carrots and whatnot, figure maybe I wouldn't never speak about the hard science of it, but if you have that kind of stuff going on, you would figure that you were going to be able to get grass and trees. You're not going to have an Amazon maybe, but stuff should be a little bit green.
Yeah, but this mod was cool, but it just added a little, maybe too much grass.
Yeah, I used that. I used that too, and I had to take it out. Normally that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay,
but that one was way too much for me.
Did Casey? Did you mention any mods? You're on PS4, so you can't have any yet. But are there any you're excited and looking forward to using? Like, what do you think you'll try to use?
Well, if it only includes stuff in game, probably maybe make it, if there's a mod that like makes it easier to make or come across ammo of some sort, or just I want more materials available to me, like easier.
There's a lot of I haven't uses one of those? There's a lot of those on just on Xbox. Yeah, there's a whole it's not as, I know Victor and the other Master Race people, they definitely have there's the mod manager, everything else, which we don't have on console, but they do have it categorized. It's reasonably easy to find stuff on the Bethesda site on the Xbox.
Yeah. Another, the Tales of the Commonwealth is one that I always like to mention, of course, is a really cool one, but that's a story-based one. I think we're sort of discussing more, textures and stuff.
Yeah. Tales is definitely worth checking out if you're on the right platform. But
one of my favorites is Man's Best Friend, because as everyone knows, and Dennis would agree with me, that followers are the best, and everyone wants as many followers as possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, I've softened my stance on followers. I think Gage, whatever they did with Gage, he turned out much better than anybody else did.
Okay.
He is really, really strong.
I think
you can use. He's the only one that I will commercially endorse.
He gives his official endorsement, ladies and gentlemen. Gage for follower of the year.
This is Dennis, and he endorses Gage. Yeah.
Also, I like Conquest. It's gotten me into a little bit of trouble. I would not recommend putting Conquest. Conquest is basically you can build a tent and have a place where you can always stay. So it's actually would work well with survival mode. If you want to cheat just a little bit and can't find a bed, you can always just pitch a tent outside of a building or whatever before you go in, so you can have a little save spot there. But you can also have the option of throwing down a tool bag, which you can then open the build menu, and then in the build menu you have the option of building a workbench. Once you install that workbench, that becomes a settlement, and it gives you a build area perimeter based on where you are and all of the I don't know if it bases it on the square footage or area or how it determines it, but it'll let you pretty much build a settlement anywhere. And I was just sort of mentioning that mod on the Facebook page the other day, and someone was like, "Oh man, I want to build something up high," and I was like, "Holy shit! I'm gonna build an awesome tower on top of Trinity Tower." Like, how awesome would that be to build a catwalk just around the tall buildings of all up there? And then once you get to the edge of the perimeter, I wonder if they'll just let you lay down another tool bag to convert into another workbench, so you can just build settlement upon settlement and just build a catwalk all the way across the fucking city.
It's settlements all the way down.
Yeah, it'll just be settlements all over the skywalk. It'll be awesome.
Well, you'll have to test that out and report back.
Well, see, I wonder because Conquest kind of uses in-game. That would be an interesting test of the Sony paradigm, right? Is that in-game assets? Maybe it is.
Mostly.
Yeah, it's an ammo bag, right? Isn't that what it is, Andrew? You drop an ammo bag.
Drop an ammo bag, and yeah, that ammo bag gets you into the build menu, and then the build menu takes it from there. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the ones I like because it lets you retool a character. Is that Ish's respec mod? And we've talked about it here before. It lets you sort of redo your perks on your character. It doesn't let you redo your special, but it lets you redo your perks. And it's one, so for example, it used existing stuff, nuclear material and a brain fungus, and you make a chem called brain fuck. So is Sony going to let brain fuck exist? So if Sony lets brain fuck exist, then that's a mod that's within the universe. I mean, within the in-game assets. So maybe that So if that kind of stuff or Conquest gets available, then there's still going to be a lot you can do on a PS4.
Well, there's got to be some technical streamlined way that Sony's going to be able to watch this, because they're not going to sit down and have somebody go through all these mods, checking that they have. Obviously, I don't know the technical side of it, but there's got to be some quick streamlined where they're going to be able to go, yeah, this is going to work, this is going to work. No, we're not going to do that. And I don't know if they're going to dump that off on Bethesda to try and curate all that, or how that's going to work. But that's
yeah. Okay, so Andrew, are we getting echoes? Just me.
No, I didn't hear anything.
I heard it.
Yeah, I'm hearing echo.
Uh-oh.
Okay. What about now? It went away for me.
Better.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Okay. All right. It was transient. Okay. All right. So we are running right about an hour here. So we have a few other things that maybe we'll save for the next episode. We are going to tack on some feedback here from our friend Michael and possibly one or two other special guests from the ASA family that's going to follow here at the end. So definitely stay tuned for that. Maybe we've got a few other things that we can share for next time. We've got some games, and don't forget to plump for that. That episode 50 special. One thing we promised a fellow podcast that we would do before we wrap the show here is we wanted to give a shout out to a podcast that's new to us here at Fallout Feed, but it's been out there for a little while. It's called West Vault Radio. That is an in-universe podcast with some really, really terrific production values. It's got a very clever premise. It's available on your, I think, on your iTunes or wherever your favorite podcatcher is. Again, West Vault Radio. Highly recommend that we do that. Andrew, did you want to make it I think you had a chance to listen to a couple episodes of that show as well.
Yeah, I burned through all the episodes that are out. It does take a bit to produce. Everyone keep that in mind because it is it is a very well produced show. I was kind of thinking if it's this is sort of maybe, I don't know if this is the best comparison or not, but I was thinking maybe it was if there was a single vault dweller in Fallout 4 who has their own radio broadcast station, and the podcast sort of has the format loosely kind of like of a Welcome to Night Vale, I'll say, like sort of a pretend radio station type thing, which is, it's a very cool idea and very neat thing. They have like, Pat, I'm gonna be silly here. I have no idea. They have really awesome songs and stuff. I haven't recognized one yet. They don't write those songs.
No, I think they found some public domain songs from, and so they actually credit the resource. If you listen to the episode, to one of the episodes, they'll credit it. They found a public domain resource for some old public domain songs that have very much the kind of the Fallout feel. You guys know what we're talking about here. You listen to the radio in Fallout. It's that all kind of like 30s, 40s vibe from, you remember in the Fallout universe, it broke from our universe in the 40s. In the 40s, it kind of went in a different direction, and their world went off in a different way. So up through about 1940, Fallout world and our world is supposed to be the same. And so the music's the same. Some of those old kind of funky old songs. And the people at West Vault Radio have found some public domain songs that kind of have that same feel. You would not know that you're not listening to Travis or Three Dog or one of the other radio stations from the Fallout Vegas in terms of the music. It's really it is incredibly well done. I think the people who do it do it from the standpoint of they want to intentionally sort of flex their creative muscle, and it's terrific.
I highly recommend it. Everyone check out West Vault Radio, please.
Yeah, please. Yeah, great show. Definitely one of our a terrific in-universe addition to the Fallout podcasting world.
Just another quick sort of comparison. If you like Mind Fog, you will also probably like this podcast. Or if you're a Skyrim fan, if you like Keeg's Quest, sort of in the same vein, all of these things. So you like those podcasts, check that out.
It's West Vault Radio. Find it on your podcatcher. I believe they're on Twitter as @West Vault Radio, all one word. So check them out. So Andrew's just reminding me here that we had one little tease we wanted to do. We've been talking about the very special episode of Fallout 50 that we want everybody to contribute $1 to CFF.org to listen to, and we want to give you just a little bit of a taste of what we did on that. We had a lot of fun with a few different games. One of the games we played was something that Andrew lifted from one of his favorite pointy ball football podcasts, and we're, for lack of a better name, we're calling it Damashek after the name of that host. It's pretty self-explanatory. I think you'll get the hang of it real quickly. So you guys know in Fallout, it's a big universe. There's a lot of content, a lot of stuff. So all we're going to do here is I'm going to name a particular category of thing that's found in Fallout 4. This is all Fallout 4. And I'm going to go through my fellow podcasters here, Andrew, Dennis, Casey, and then Marcus, and ask them to just name the things that are on that list. And we're going to try to name all the things. There are 11 of one category, 7 of another category, and 2 from DLC. It'll be very apparent when I give you the category in a second. There'll be no cheating because there's also no prizes. So we're just going to have some fun with this. And if you have a good time listening to this, then you're going to have a great time listening to the Fallout 50 show. $1 to ASAPodcasting@gmail.com. Use PayPal. The friends and family link will get you that full couple hours worth of good family fun of Fallout gaming. So here's the category. We are going to name all the magazines that you can find in Fallout 4. We're going to try to get the titles exactly right at first, but if we can't quite get there, if we get it close, that's going to be good enough. So there's magazines that you can find. All we want is the title of the magazine, not the individual issue titles, but just the title of the magazines that you can find in the Fallout 4 game. All of them are. There's 11 in the base game that give you a perk. There's another 7 that are kind of miscellaneous things, and then there's 2 that you can find in the DLC. So, Andrew, can you start us off? Name any of the magazines that you can find in Fallout 4.
The only one I can think of right off the top of my head is Picket Fences.
You got it. Picket Fences. That gives you things you can build in your workbench.
Wait, how many are there?
There are a total of 21, including the DLC. I'll give you some hints if we run out, if we slow down. Dennis, you're up next. Name a magazine.
Grognak the Barbarian.
You got it. That is number 2.
Casey. Damn, I was going to say that one.
I like the one that Astonishingly Awesome Tales.
Yeah, very, very close enough. Astoundingly Awesome Tales. Well done. Well done. Marcus, you got another one to back up. You got
Tumblers Today.
You got it. On the nose. Beautiful. Number 4. Andrew, give us another one.
Today. What is that?
That's a lockpick. It increases your in Fallout 4. It increases your the sweet spot of your lockpick. Andrew, you got to go back and play Fallout 3 in New Vegas because these are all over those as well, but they have slightly different effects.
Can I already bail on naming the names, but just describe?
No, go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
5% extra limb damage.
Yeah. Anybody know the name of that one? That is one.
Massachusetts Surgical Journal.
You got it. Can be found in Boston Library and a few other places. Yeah, there you go. All right, Dennis.
Somebody's a swap.
Guns and Bullets.
Guns and Bullets, a favorite.
Yeah, I was going to say Guns and Ammo, but I was like, no, that's the real one. What is the fake one called?
We're all friends here. That is close enough. Casey, you got another one?
I was trying to. There's one that gives you like new tattoos and stuff.
And you're 50%. You're 50% there, right? No, you're conflating 2 different ones.
Oh,
tattoos is one, and it starts with a T. It's a 2-word title. TT tattoos.
Oh, I don't remember. I was thinking of like live in love or something.
Oh no, okay, that's one. You got that one. That's the one that gives you benefits from companions. There is a tattoo one. Anybody know the name of the tattoo one?
Taboo Tattoos.
You got it. Nice. Well done. So, Marcus, you got another magazine for us.
Which Covert Ops?
You got it.
Yeah.
U.S. Covert Operations Manual. That's it. See, we're doing well here. We're over halfway done. All right, Andrew, come on, give us some love here.
Their haircuts one.
Yeah. What's it? It's got a en français, s'il vous plaît.
Frizzy.
You were. It's. I'll give it to you. It's La Coiffe. La Coiffe.
No, I'm an idiot. Sorry.
No, you are not an idiot. You got it. You nailed it. That is close enough. Dennis, can you give us another one?
Hot Rodder.
Hot Rodder. Nicely done.
Damn it, Dennis! You're taking all of mine.
You guys are good at this. Casey, you got another one?
I'm looking on your sheet.
No, looking over the other paper.
The only other one I think of is the Far Harbor one is Islander's Almanac.
You got it. Nicely played. Well played.
But I might be out now.
No, come on. You guys are missing a couple that have been very consistent since the early days. It's kind of funny that what you're. There's a couple that are.
You've given it away. Wasteland Survival Guide.
You got it. That's right.
Yeah, you gave it away with that one.
Yeah. No, it's okay. We're getting little hits. Andrew,
You won't count the Nuka World map guide, will you?
you know, it's funny because it pops up like a magazine, but you get nothing for it. Yeah. Every time I find one of those effing things, it's like it's another damn pamphlet. I don't want that. I want a magazine.
I found something useful, and no, you haven't.
It's one of those things. You got one that you can. There's actually one. There's one unique one that's very you find very early in the game that you guys are forgetting.
Are you special?
There you go. You're special. That's right.
How about the robotics one? What is that one called?
And it's called. Anybody know?
Tesla Science.
Oh, that's it. That is one, but that's not the one Andrew's thinking about.
No, it's not.
Is it like Robot Fun or something?
It is awfully close. It is Robco Fun.
Robco Fun. Yes.
You guys are doing great. You were only missing 3.
Holy
and
shit.
actually, one of them has been mentioned already in this podcast. 4. One of them has been mentioned in this podcast.
Oh, no.
Think back to our conversation about mods.
Oh, God, I don't even remember.
I think you find one in the comics place in the podcast listeners are shouting at me right now.
Hubris
Comics. I think you find one in Hubris Comics.
Someone already say the Grognak?
Yes, already said Grognak. There's another one. This word has been mentioned on this podcast. Say the secret word and win the prize. What'd you say?
Silver Shroud of some sort?
Silver Shroud is in this. It's a super group.
What are they called? Not the Dependables. What the fuck are those guys called?
They're called those guys. That's right. Those guys in that comic.
Dennis, help me out.
Dennis, I think you said it.
Now I'm completely blanking.
I'm out.
Oh, the Unstoppables. Yeah.
Somebody said there's a mod calls on. Didn't somebody say there's a mod calls Unstoppables?
Yeah, it is
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got one. Okay, I'll give you a couple hints here. There's one that is found in Nuka World.
Is it something about mixing?
See, I've not played Nuka World yet. So.
Yeah, it's not the recipes. It is a magazine. There's one that has appeared in multiple Fallout games. It's kind of in the Wasteland Survival Guide vein. And there's one that gives you that I think is maybe new to Fallout 4 that gives you some special options at terminals. So you guys are doing great. You only missed 3.
Hacker or something. Yeah.
You got it. Anybody know the exact name?
Total Hacker.
Total Hack.
Yeah.
Nicely played. All right, 2 more.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
These guys
2
have
more.
such good witty names.
Did we say the Tesla one?
You did. Yeah, I think Dennis got Tesla. I'm obviously not keeping score here. We're doing this for fun.
Isn't there a vendor one?
That's it. Anybody know the name of the vendor one?
Tales of
Junktown Junkie.
You got it. Well
Tales
played.
Yeah.
Tales of a Junktown Jerky vendor. That's been at least in 3. I don't remember if it was in New Vegas. All right. The Nuka World one is the only one you guys are missing, and it's kind of random. I would never have remembered this if I hadn't just looked it up on the wiki page.
What was it called?
Scav.
I never would have got that.
Yeah, I think one of them. I think it gives you some pretty good melee bonuses. Nuka World is pretty OP when you start playing around with something like that throat cutter weapon and other stuff we talked about. So anyway, that was a quick round of Damashek that we played. We played a couple of those on the special episode. A couple other games. Fallout Feud, not to be missed. So send your dollars in today. All right.
Wonderful.
All right, well, terrific. Thanks, guys, for playing that game. That was fun, and I hope we have some fun with these and maybe some future episodes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for walking us through that, Pat.
Andrew, is there anything else we wanted to cover before we sign off for the night?
No, I think I'm cool. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming on the show, especially Marcus. It's probably got to be near sunrise for him.
4:35 in the morning.
Oh God!
I got work in a couple of hours.
Oh God! You go take a nap now.
Or just power through. Just drink a double espresso and power through your day.
triple, maybe with a whiskey chaser.
Attaboy. Thanks so much for coming on, Marcus. And seriously, you've gone above and beyond anything that anyone could expect for just this, cruddy little podcast for this awesome spreadsheet work that you've done. It's remarkable awesome looking spreadsheet. Again, just go to asapodcasting.com, click on the Fallout feed, scroll down past the schedule for the Fallout feed roundtable, and there you'll find the link for that spreadsheet.
That's really exciting. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's all right. Awesome. No problem. You just keep your eyes peeled for the Skyrim one that's coming.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yep. Well, when this episode airs, it'll already be up. So go ahead right now, and you'll find it on the Skyrim page. Also, that's all I got, Pat. What else you got?
I got nothing else. Dennis, anything else from you?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, Dennis, thank you for joining. Casey, great to have you back on the show. Any other closing comments?
Nope. I'm excited to play Nuka World because I haven't done that yet.
I think you'll have a good time. It's a little OP, but it's a lot of fun. So everybody, thank you for listening to episode 53 of the Fallout feed. Remember, you can find our t-shirts at etsy.com/shop/ASAPodcasting. Use the Amazon link at ASA Podcasting. That throws a few pennies our way. Doesn't cost you anything extra on Amazon. Any proceeds from that link are used to offset podcasting expenses, and anything extra goes to cff.org. Don't forget our charity stream coming up on October 29th. And we are going to have, at the end of the show, a little special feedback. Please stay tuned for that. If you have any comments, you can find us at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at thefalloutfeed. You can find us on Facebook at A Skyrim Addict Podcast and the Fallout feed. Hope to see you on one of those social media channels. And everybody, we will see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout feed, the Skyrim Addict Podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
Okay, at this point, we're just going to go through some feedback from Michael. This is something that's being sprung on me. If anyone, Casey, Dennis, or Marcus, you guys need to take off, that is A-okay. I do not mind. And you can just hop off whenever, and have a great night, you guys.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Great to podcast with you guys. Thanks for the show tonight.
I think I'll stay.
Yeah, you're welcome to.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Yeah,
this is being sprung on me, so we'll see what this is. Again, this is from some weirdo listener named Michael, I believe his name is.
I think he's a crackpot. Don't pay any attention to anything he says.
Yeah.
No, I never do.
All right, so let me see if I can find it here. Oh, yep, here we go. So yeah, we'll just jump right into it, I guess. Here, he told me not to listen to it before airing, so we'll just go in blind. It's taking a second to load. Sorry.
Heyo, Andrew. It's Kara. So I also wanted to thank you for everything that you do, which includes things that even I'm probably not aware of. I mean, you do this like it's your second job, and I really wish that we had a better way to thank you, but I hope that this is sufficient enough. I don't want to take up too much time, so I'm just going to mention a few little things. I really want to thank you for reaching out to me in the first place and asking me to join you guys on the crew. It was probably one of the best things that happened to me this year. I have had so much fun, I can't even express how glad I am that you all invited me to be part of this. I would have to say that the funniest thing I can remember is anytime you've done any of the little post-track edits on any Fallout Feed Roundtable podcast, and I'm behind on my podcast, so it's possible you've been doing them for the regular Fallout feed too, but they're pretty much the best. And I know from one editor to another, I know what that takes. I know that it's not exactly like cut and paste all the time. Sometimes you're hunting, sometimes you have an idea, sometimes you don't. And so I really want to thank you for the love and care that you put into that. And it just comes off really great. It's a nice finishing touch to the whole thing. I haven't been with ASA podcasting long enough to have any plethora of memories, I guess, but at the same time, every single time I talk to you or talk to any of the guys or all of us together, it's always a blast. I always find myself in much better spirits than when I started. It's pretty much, like I said, one of the best things to happen to me this year. And frankly, I have you to thank for that. I'm going to avoid getting all sappy or anything like that, but I just want you to know I really do appreciate it. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate what you've done. And I really look forward to working together in the future. Thanks, man.
Oh, that's incredible. I don't know if I should even stop in between these or not, but man, you guys are gonna make me cry if I have to listen to all this in front of them.
That's exactly what we planned. Yes, you've fallen into our trap.
Too bad we don't have video.
You make Kara go first. Oh goodness. All right, so I guess we'll just plunge into more. Kara, I've loved having you on the show, and I can't wait to podcast more with all of us in the future. So hopefully Kara can come back when she has time for us.
All right. Hello, Andrew. This is Juan. I don't know if you remember me. I used to be part of the roundtable at sometime in the past. Mostly just wanted to say, thank you for all that you do for this show. It's probably would not be what it is without you, or actually more than likely it wouldn't be what it is without you. Yeah, I gotta say that if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be doing even something as simple as this, which is just recording. I guess I want to thank you for bugging me, even though I tried to come up with every excuse for not actually being on the show. And now it's something that I look forward to anytime that I can even be a part of it. I look forward to it, and I enjoy being on with you guys. I feel that I've made some really good friends, and I have you to thank for that. I think probably the most memorable time for me in the show was when I had a sword and board character on the Skyrim roundtable, and I think I had just maybe 1 point or 0 points that I could put into stamina. Had to get really creative with that character, but I found that I really enjoyed playing that character. He was pretty tough and pretty sturdy. Had to use as many enchants and tricks that I could find to do that. So, I mean, I think you've done a great job, and thank you, and hope to be on for the Skyrim roundtable when we finally do get that going. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Juan, buddy, there's no words I can say how grateful I am to have you on the show. It did take a little bit of coercing at first, but I'm so glad that you finally broke and joined up in the whole group. And that's kind of like, if anyone listened to the old Red Queen Hypothesis episode that I uploaded, that's kind of the same environment that we had with everyone being in each other's bands and just playing and everyone having a good time. That we're sort of cultivating here with ASA podcasting. Just everyone's on each other's podcasts, and everyone's welcome to come on and put an input on any show that they want to. And we're just really glad, Juan, that you could join our little spider web of entangled podcast here. You've been a really valued valued member of our community. And thanks so much for finally bending and joining in on the shows. And of course, you can be on the Skyrim Roundtable. Gee whiz.
Hi guys, this is Colin. I wanted to record this and send it into the show here to play on today, especially because I wanted to say a huge thank you to my good friend Andrew Myers, just because of all the extremely hard work he puts in to everything that he does. Whatever it is, whether he's got a stake in it or not, if he thinks it's going to make somebody else happy, he's going to work his damnedest to make it an enjoyable experience for all. So this is for Andrew, and I just wanted to put him to say thank you very much for all his hard work, especially with today, but also from my side for the great things he's done for the Fallout. And the Skyrim roundtables. I think I've been on nearly all of them, and I think that they're an awesome part, a big part of this community. And he's one of the main people who've kept it alive, or is the one who's, well, not kept it alive, but kept it going, and has made it the success that it is. Even crossing over from one game to another and seeing the popularity of the roundtable skyrocket when it did transfer over to Fallout 4. With the roundtables, some stuff never would have happened if it wasn't for Andrew. So, like some great times I had with my original Skyrim roundtable character of Gunvar Oaken Master. I enjoyed that so much that it ended up becoming a narrative story that I inflicted on the rest of the community, and that was thanks to him. So you got him to thank for that as well. One of my favorite parts of that is the relationship between Gonvar and his follower Aethys from the Dark Elf from the companions, and even a little invented scenario with my roundtable character bumping into Victor's roundtable character in Windhelm, which will always stick with me as well, and even onto Jonaria Arkvalen, my second character. A great scene of where you walk into Hilgrin's tomb, I believe it is, and Goldear is in there as the gentleman who's standing outside while his aunt is supposed to be going in and doing his fighting for him. And he tells you the story of Val's Varen, and he says practicing his filthy dark elf necromancy. And usually I go in and clear the place out, but my character was a dark elf, a Dunmer lady, and she burned him alive on the spot, and then walked away and left Val's Varen to do what he pleased with Goldear's ancestors. And that was a scene I particularly enjoyed, and it fell straight in with her character, and I was very pleased with how it went. So these are great experiences I had, and fun that I've had is because of Andrew and the amount of hard work that he puts into it every single time he creates a new series, and all the amount of time and effort he puts into each and every episode. So I just wanted to say thank you very much, Andrew. Your work is deeply appreciated, especially by me, because this is one of the parts of this community that I enjoy the most. Is with everybody else, but with you and Michael and Victor especially. So thank you very much, mate, and I'll see you on the next roundtable. Cheers. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, Colin, there's nothing I can say. It's like, again, you hopped right into the roundtable right off, and we've always had a wonderful time. And any time that Colin has had something come up, I always try to reschedule the show because Colin is that important to me. he's like, if Colin can't do it, then the show can't be. So, Colin, I'm not going to blubber here about it, but you know what you mean to me, brother.
Oh, ASA, this is Dennis, and I was asked to record a little something to say thank you to Andrew for all the hard work that he does for us between the Fallout feed and all the roundtables, and just his presence and how much he means to all of us because he's such a great guy. And I was asked to also give a little story about something that happened in my playthroughs, and actually the story that I have is linked directly to what Andrew does, and I always sit there and chat with him on the Fallout feed or listen to him on the different roundtables, and I'm always amazed about all the side things that he does. I just kind of play the game and go through and crunch the numbers and do those kinds of things, but I never am creative enough to think of having a boy farm or having a army of gorillas or something like that. So I actually had 2 drops. I got a Acrobat's combat armor right leg, and Acrobat's the prefix, it reduces falling damage by 50%. So if you have a right and a left leg, it reduces falling damage by 100%. So you could just jump off of any skyscraper or what have you, and you never take any falling damage, and you don't have the annoyance of when you land in the power armor, you kind of stand still and shake for a little while. With the Acrobat stuff, you jump off and you just land straight off. So I was like, I had Oswald's top hat, and I managed to have some like freezing walking cane or something. So I decided to get stand on the Pridwin and have my Oswald's top hat, my walking cane, and my acrobatic stuff on my legs, and then just jump off the Pridwin completely naked. And I'm like, that's something fun. That's sounds like something Andrew would do. And I never do stop and do cool things like that. So I was like, I would do it and try and record it and put it up on the Facebook group or whatever, and kind of tease Andrew that way is something I would do. So I get myself all together, I take all my gear off, and I swap the items, and I get a running start, and I jump off the Pridwin, and I jump into the sky, and I start landing towards the airport, and I die. Because in all of my switching around gear, I only managed to put one of the acrobatic things on, and that was not enough to cover all the falling damage, and yeah, I died. So it shows that you can try and be creative and do fun things like Andrew, and you can try and imitate him, but you can't duplicate him. So thank you very much, Andrew, and I appreciate all the hard work you do around here. Thank you so very much.
That's great. I love that story. And Dennis, thanks for everything you do. You're one of my go-tos. I'm glad to I tricked you into being on the show as well, because if I need information about anything, it doesn't even matter what category. I can usually ask Dennis, and Dennis either has an opinion on the matter or can identify what item I'm forgetting the name of. He can always tell me. So, Dennis, you've been a valuable asset to the show, and I'm really glad that you've joined in as a permanent fixture. So, thanks a lot for everything you've done as well, man.
I'm glad. I'm very, very honored to be with you, Andrew. I could have gushed a whole lot longer, but I was really trying to restrain myself. But I am one of those ASA nerds that goes back and listens to all the old roundtables from, episode 1, and then do little mini marathons and sit there and listen to my car for hours upon hours. And those shows still hold up. They're amazingly funny, and they're really well done. And we have you to thank for that. So thank you again so much.
Well, that's amazing that they're still listenable. I haven't revisited anything like that in a long time. So, so I'll just continue on here. Thanks a lot, Dennis.
Hey, Andrew, it's Pat here. Hey, I just want to add my voice to all the others that are going to be thanking you for everything you've done. Really, ever since the beginning on the Fallout feed, and but in particular this season with the season 2 of the Roundtable, it has really been a terrific podcasting experience. I think just a lot of I know you're with the work you have to put in, with a family, with a job, and you're trying to just enjoy your music, enjoy your gaming, and then you find time to spend a lot of time helping out the whole broader Fallout community and ASA podcasting community with everything you do for the roundtable. Just don't know how to say thank you enough. And for me, I'm a relatively new entrant to the ASA family, and the way you encouraged me to participate, through written feedback, voicemail feedback, and then invited me to help out with co-hosting the regular feed and participating regularly in the roundtable feedback episode. Just again, can't tell you what a nice experience it is to hear. To be invited to join a group of folks who do so much good work in terms of podcasting. And I still haven't gotten into the Skyrim casts at all. Although again, with the special edition coming out, I likely will join the club too there, especially given that the Fallout 4 has at least for now ended. It's probably good timing for me to get on the Skyrim bandwagon along with everybody else. So. Just everything that ASA podcasting does is really terrific, and I think in particular what you've done these past few months is just amazing. I think about some of the you and I have chatted over Facebook and over Messenger, and shared a lot of funny stories and heard funny stories from Jeremy and Colin and so many people, so many different people in the Facebook community. I think it's really nice how welcoming you and the other kind of lead cast of ASA podcasting are, because you don't see a lot of communities that are frankly just as friendly as this one online. I think you have some that may have more more content or more technical gee whizzery or whatever, but just the fact that it's such a friendly group and people are welcome to join in whatever format, interacting on Twitter, interacting on Facebook, listening to the podcast. It's just a really nice atmosphere. And of course, all capped off by the fact that there's a lot of good work being done for CFF in the background as well. So that's yet another kind of a capper there. So maybe just one little funny story about some of the things we've all kind of collectively shared. I remember I don't remember which one came first. I think mine might have been first. Just in terms of Bethesda physics, I was doing a playthrough session. I think it was actually my regular character, not my roundtable character, but. I was swimming around the Charles River, as I like to do. That's one of my favorite ways of getting around the wasteland in a hurry. And I came across the floating sledgehammer that I posted a picture of on the Facebook group. And I said, "Oh, this has got to be one of the top Bethesda physics moments ever." And of course, you have to come in and come over the top and totally blow that away with your two favorite things in the world: your love of mods and your love of followers, and your experience with the Conquest mod at Far Harbor, and seeing all your followers, especially stupid Ada, floating out in the middle of whatever Bar Harbor Bay or whatever the Cascadia Bay or whatever the hell that bay is that Bar Harbor's around. Seeing your robots and your other settlers just kind of floating out to sea was one of the best Fallout moments ever. So Andrew, keep them coming. Thanks for everything you do. To help out the Fallout feed, the Fallout Roundtable, all the ASA podcasting family of shows. Great to hear from you every week. It really is a highlight of my week to hear one of the ASA podcasting shows drop, whether it's the Fallout feed or ASA Game Talk or my journey with CF or any of the other terrific stuff that comes off the network. So thanks for everything you do, Andrew. You really make this a special community. Online and through the podcast and everything else, and I look forward to many more hours of happy listening through Skyrim and some of the other things coming up. Thanks, Andrew.
Hello.
Well, Pat, I'm not even sure how long we've been doing the show together. I think I pretty much pulled you in as soon as pretty quickly after Michael sort of told Kara and I that we were going to be doing the show. So. Probably in the 30s somewhere. We're in the 50s now, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe 40s. I think I've been listening since the 30s. I think in terms of contributing, it's been more like sometime in the 40s. But whatever. It doesn't. The numbers don't matter. It's the fact that it's just such a welcoming and friendly community that really anybody who wants to contribute is able just to jump in and add to the contributions of the family. It's just a terrific community here online.
I just remember the first time I heard Pat, he submitted a an audio feedback, and I played it for Kara, and we both were like, okay, this guy is awesome. When you get him, he has a cool sounding deep voice, and he has a cool thoughts. So we need to get him on the show stat. And so I don't know, we just kind of invited you on the show, and then you kind of never.
You can't get rid of me now. You're stuck with me.
He's like a rad roach.
That's right.
It's like a rad roach. That's great. So I'm really excited, Pat, because you are a Skyrim noob. So you've never played the game before. So I'm really, really excited to have you as part of the round table to really experience Skyrim as a first-time player again, because to me it was the most confusing thing I've ever done, was try to pick up a Bethesda game and understand all the nuances of this and that. It's a huge undertaking. Someone who's I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. I don't like the closest thing I've ever come to fantasy gaming was watching a Lord of the Rings movie. I'm not familiar with this kind of world at all. So it was tough for me, but you at least have a Fallout background, so you might be a little more accustomed to how this works. But they're not the same game by any means. I don't like the comparison that Fallout is Skyrim with guns. You know, I hear a lot, but I don't think that's accurate at all. But so I'm really excited to have you on the Skyrim Roundtable, because the reason that I found Michael and this podcast was because when I started Skyrim, it was the most confusing thing ever, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I was just like, maybe there's a podcast about this weird game that I could find. And, you know, this game came out 2 years ago or something. So like, who knows if anyone's still podcasting about it? And then I search online, I'm like, okay, here, episode 4. Wow. He's just started a new podcast about Skyrim. Okay, let's start listening to this, see what's going on. And then, you know, so I started listening to Michael's podcast just because I had no idea what was happening in the beginning of this game. It was just, I've never played an open world game like that before. You know what I mean? Like it was a huge confusing experience. So I'm really excited to invite you into the round table for Skyrim to see what your blind first take impressions
Yeah,
are.
well, it's funny as we've been sitting here. There's the thread on the Facebook page, and we were kind of going on about this topic, and I told Kyle on the Facebook page that that's actually what actually that's probably what I'm going to Twitch on the charity stream day. As I think as I pre-ordered the Skyrim, so I think what I'm going to do is, like, for the first time that I load Skyrim, I think I'm gonna Twitch it live and just share my confusion with the Twitch universe, because I'm sure I will have no clue what I'm doing.
That'll be great. Let me know when you do that. I'd love to be there when and
it's on the schedule.
That's awesome. It's incredible. All right, I encourage that highly. So yeah, that would be during the marathon.
Yeah.
Awesome. My wife and I are going to try to schedule Mo's nap at a convenient time where we can stream some Lego Star Wars for 45 minutes or so, hopefully.
Loves Lego games. Good call.
Yeah, I love those. My wife and I, they hold a special place in our heart. All right, let's see some more feedback here.
To hear.
That's a Victor.
When I started listening to a Skyrim Addict, it was, I think might have been right after, I don't know, it wasn't right after Thumbcast stopped, but I think they had already stopped, and I listened to all of those episodes, and I was looking around for something else to listen to, and Michael had been making a Skyrim Addict podcast for a little while, and so I'm listening to the episodes in order, and then there's an audio feedback coming up from somebody, and Michael played it, and I thought, oh my God, it's awesome. And it was so great and so geeky in every way, in all the best ways. And that was my introduction to Andrew. And so, Andrew, I just want to let you know that for all the work that Michael does and makes this community what it is, you've added so much to it. You are unpretentious and patient and kind, and your enthusiasm never ends. And the roundtable has been such a great experience for me. And I'm not, really social person, and I don't get out a lot. I have, a few close friends, and that's about it. And so it's been a wonderful thing to get together with people from all over the world, literally, every few weeks, and just talk and have fun. And you're the, you're the driving force behind that. And so it's been great. And this is my heartfelt thanks to you. It's been wonderful to get to know you, to watch your beautiful little boy grow, and all the other wonderful things that you've brought to a Skyrim Addict. So thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Blake.
Oh man, Victor, there's, I assume Michael is going to say something here too. Maybe not, but I do have a Victor, Colin, and Michael story here real quick. It is just funny that I got an email at one point just from a new listener. He's actually a pretty active member of the community, Michael Cheney. But I remember him specifically saying this, and I sent this email out, or I maybe copied it and pasted it in the our private conversation thread that we have between the guys. But he was just saying that he and his wife love all the ASA podcasts, and they listen to all the old episodes and listen to them over again, and just how Colin, Victor, Michael, and Andrew were celebrities in their house, and that just really struck me really hard about this is just a silly little hobby, a little podcast to me. This is just a fun little thing, but for someone to know that it brings people that much joy is just, I just, the reason I do this is for the community aspect to it. I really love bringing everyone together, and the round table is just a way to force people to have to do a podcast with me. So Victor, I can't say anything. There's just no words, guys.
AKA Uncle Hesser. I also want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Andrew for keeping the round table projects alive, the Skyrim Addict and Fallout feed. Man, I look forward to them every week or every 2 weeks when they come out, and I've really, really enjoyed it. Even though I couldn't always commit to play along, your commitment to the show has been really, really inspirational. That level of dedication, it takes a lot to put a show out all the time. And look, I know, trust me, even though I haven't done any podcasting in a long time, I know what kind of dedication it takes to a project like that. I remember, I think I asked Andrew to come on an episode of the Nightcast back in the day. And if I'm not mistaken, that may have been his first podcast debut, I think. But he was telling me how many hours of Skyrim he had played, and I remember at the time just being absolutely blown away that somebody could dedicate that much time to just one game. And in retrospect, I think at the time it was like the only game Andrew was playing. So, but and then we moved on to the Earwash together and did that, and that was a fun project. And now, I'm just enjoying listening to you guys on the round table. So Andrew, keep up the good work, buddy. I really enjoy it. And here's to several more years of roundtables.
Yeah, I would totally love to do several more years of roundtables. That's right now. That is the plan to bounce back and forth between Skyrim and Fallout. There's been a mention of maybe a rogue group going off and doing the opposite that I'm bouncing back and forth off of, if that makes any sense, so that both can be constantly going. But who knows? That seems complicated. So Blake, Earwash, baby. People are requesting it still to this day that we bring the show back. I still get messages from Brian Accidentale, and that's a guy you don't want to piss off. So I think eventually we're gonna have to maybe resurrect Earwash at some point. But at least during the marathon next week, that'll definitely Earwash will have to get an hour in there. I love doing Earwash, and Blake, you're right. I think my first live appearance on a podcast might have been on the Nightcast with you. So thanks for bringing me in to the podcasting world. And I loved Nightcast and chatting with you. That's why we did the Earwash show. That's pretty much what, dragged me into doing a dedicated, weekly show and having multiple shows going and doing some roundtables and Earwash. And everyone seemed to really like the Earwash. It seemed to be like a fun little idea. I didn't see a ton of other podcasts who were doing that sort of thing, but it's all because of you, Blake. So thanks for sucking me into it, man. So
Andrew,
everyone,
tell the listeners what is Earwash all about? Is that still available online?
Yeah, it's still posted, I believe. It's on iTunes. It's kind of like we haven't done an episode in years now, but it was just a podcast where we would listen to podcasts. We'd listen to new shows every week and just sort of report back. And there was lots of listeners who liked Earwash because they found lots of new of their favorite shows through Earwash show. And then we would also take listener submissions of their podcast, so we'd also sort of promote other independent podcasts that way as well. So we talked about major podcasts as well, but we'd also try to do our best to promote lots of people just trying to make their way like us. You know what I mean? So it was just a podcast about podcasts, basically, which sounds kind of lame, but it was a really fun show, and we had lots of people who liked it. So I'm, have a baby and stuff gets busy. So, but yeah, it's still out there, Pat.
I have to look for it right now.
Oh yeah, Earwash show. Maybe. So that's our feedback. Thank you so much, guys. Of course, I can't go through and thank every single person in the group. We've got hundreds of people in our group now, but this is the most important, social interaction that I do have now is this podcast network, this group of friends, and I can't be more grateful for the friendships. For all the interactions, for all the deep and meaningful moments that have happened on the shows, and just through interactions through the podcast group. So I'm not going to go on here, but thank you everyone in the group so much for everything you've done. You guys mean so much to me. Does anyone have any closing thoughts before we sign off for the evening? Thanks again for listening to episode 53 of the Fallout feed. This has been a very long episode now, almost 2 hours. So thanks everyone for sticking around if you made it this far. Anyone have any closing thoughts?
Thanks, Andrew.
I'm pretty good. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks
for having us.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, guys, for sticking around, and we will see you in the wasteland.
See you in the wasteland.
See you in the wasteland, guys.
Have you ever found yourself saying this on a Saturday night?
I'll even sleep on a futon. I'm that desperate.
Do you find yourself getting into arguments with inanimate objects?
What the fuck does that mean, Xbox? You and I are about to have a fucking problem. What? No!
If so, you need to head over to ASAPodcasting.com, check out our podcasts, click on our Amazon link, and make your life a better place. This commercial is brought to you by ASA Podcasting.
Thanks to everyone's generosity, we were able to donate $580 to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation at cff.org during our 2015 live event. Hi everyone, it's Andrew from the Fallout feed, the Fallout, and the Skyrim Roundtables. On October 29th, 2016, we'll be doing a live streaming and podcasting event to raise money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation at cff.org. We will be raffling off several different packages of Fallout, Skyrim, and other special items acquired at this year's San Diego Comic-Con. For every $10 US or equivalent, you'll get a chance in the drawing. You can donate through PayPal to asapodcasting@gmail.com. Every penny raised goes directly to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation at cff.org. The raffle items and shipping will be paid for with private funds. When donating, please use the friends and family option on PayPal to limit any fees. Also, just attach a message indicating you would like to be entered into the drawing for the special items. We will be doing a drawing on the weekend of November 5th on YouTube. The live stream on October 29th will begin at 10 a.m. Eastern and will go for a 12-hour marathon of podcasting fun. You can find our broadcast live on YouTube, or the audio can be found on mixler.com/ASAPodcasting. Again, that's Mixler, mixlr.com/ASAPodcasting.
This episode of the Fallout Feed is brought to you by Game Talk and viewers like you.